Hey, Derek. Well, thank you for joining us. We're super excited to shine a spotlight on local Seattle organizations that are doing really great work in the community. Chief Seattle Club was one of the first ones that actually came to mind. I have a little bit of a connection to them as well, so I'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
But with our Share the Love campaign, we want to just know a lot about Chief Seattle Club and what the work is that you guys are doing in the local community.
Thank you, Fari. Glad to be here. Yeah, I always like sharing the story of the club and the work we do. We've been around since 1970. Historically, for many, many years, many of that lifespan, we were really primarily emergency services, serving the urban Native American community. Just to put it to scale and scope, 6 years, 7 years ago, we had an annual budget of under 500,000 with about 11 employees, 10, 11 employees. Today, we're well over 60, and we have an operating budget over 7 million. And so we are far more than just emergency services these days. We provide a lot of wraparound services. So we provide obviously the day center, which we've always had, showers, hot meals, laundry service, just in day area where you can rest, phones and computers where you can stay connected with loved ones back home. We have reentry program now, reentry society from prison and jails. We have domestic violence advocacy. We have a robust housing assistance team, which gets people moved in, pays for his last month's rent. So we have a lot of wraparound services, and we do at Chief Seattle Club because we are a Native organization. To us, there's more sides to a human health than just the physical side of health. You have emotional health, spiritual health, mental health, all those things. And when your life's out of balance, it's all out of balance. If any one of those things are. So we try to provide services that touch and addresses all those kind of aspects when we think of things. So we really provide a holistic model and how we can address our members' spiritual needs and emotional needs and how we can get them back, thriving again. But it's just creating that sacred space because so often, we're all on indigenous land. This is the land of the Coast Salish here. But if you walk through these city streets, this concrete jungle, if you will, there's really no honoring, no recognition of being, indigenous land. And our people don't feel welcomed. So everybody in society needs a place where they can feel a sense of belonging, a sense of love, a sense of like, yeah, this is home. And you're on the streets, there really isn't a lot of places you can do that. So that's really what we provide. That's our mission to create that sacred space. A few things we got going for us now, beyond just the social services I was mentioning about the Chief Seattle Club, we have two property development projects going on. We have right next door to Chief Seattle Club, we have a building all, which is the Shootsy for Home. It's going to go up to 7 stories. It's going to have 80 units of low-income housing for our members. We're partnering with Seattle Indian Health Board to provide services out of. And our workforce development is going to expand and actually run a cafe down there where we teach people to be baristas and that type of thing. Construction completion date is October 6th. So it's coming right around the corner. We're going to get a lot of our community housed there. The second property project we got is we call it the Sacred Medicine House. It's in Lake City Way. That's going to provide 120 units of permanent supportive housing too. A place where we can do intensive case management with folks and a lot of programming, like some of the stuff we provide at Chief Seattle Club, take it there. So as we get them housed, we can bring that ceremony, that cultural aspect, that stuff there too. The all building, the one that's scheduled to open October, it's coming with the native brickwork pattern throughout the building, right? It's going to have a 40-foot matriarch with their hands up, on the facade, on the south facing facade. Like everybody in Seattle is coming from the dome or not the dome, but the stadium area is going to see this native woman figure, matriarch,
Wow.
holding her hands up, right?
That's awesome. I didn't know about the exponential growth that you guys have had. That's like really, really cool. And I didn't know about these projects that are going to be like stuff we're going to start seeing in October of this year,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
also very impressive because you've been working on this through a pandemic when
yeah,
people need it most. You guys have
yeah,
been, chipping away at it. That's amazing.
yeah. It did slow down the project a little bit, obviously early on with the
Sure.
pandemic and finding workers to work, but we
Sure.
picked back up steam and we're getting.
But
Yeah.
still, you guys need to pat yourselves on the back. That's amazing.
No, thank
This
you.
is the time when people need it the most. And you guys are hopefully by October. I'm hoping we're not in a pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
And
We have our
the goal
fingers
is we're out of
crossed
a
too.
pandemic. Right. But still so much work to do. There's going to be more people that are going to be homeless that need somewhere to go, need shelter,
Absolutely.
need that sacred space.
Yeah.
There's one thing that you want everyone to remember specifically.
We are Saving our communities members' lives. A lot of them. Native Americans are 1% of the population in this region, but we make up 15% of the homelessness. The disparities are just disgustingly out of control. I would just stress the point that all the communities, all of those disparities out there, whether it's even the Latinx community, African American community, they all need to have and be empowered to be able to provide the same thing. If they truly want to get rid of some of these disparities, these racial disparities that are happening, whether it's homelessness and poverty, and it takes a culturally appropriate, intentful service to actually reach and do meaningful impact in a community. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you, Derek. Thanks for sharing that. Really appreciate it.